Hello. Hey, everybody. Hello to everybody in the chat. It is so great to see all the members there as well. I love seeing all the green, lit up in green. Big thank you to my mods this morning. Mama Opal's here and Nancy. Let's see. I think that's who we got so far. Oh, Are You Jellen's here too? This is awesome. So they will be doing the things. If you have questions as we go along, and I feel today there are going to be questions and comments. Put question in all caps and have your question follow to help us keep track of that. Nancy's backstage starring along and see if we can't get to everything. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news that has the internet buzzing. We talk about my 35 years. Blows my mind when I think about it. Over 3 decades in Scientology and leaving with 3 generations of my family. Yep, we did. Throughout the week, I also do interviews and collaborative videos with other people in the community and beyond. So when you hit the notification bell or when you hit the subscribe button, set the notification bell so you hopefully get notifications when I go live. Everybody who's here, please go over and smash that like button because that will help make it rain notifications right now as we get into it. And there's a lot to get into. We are going to start off with a little bit of Selfless Self news. You guys know his car was stolen. His vehicle was ripped off, taken, gone in Austin, and he got it back and did a little bit of I guess you might call it an unboxing of a different kind when he got the vehicle back. I'm glad he got it back. We're going to take a little peek at this. This is from Selfless Self.
Oh, no. Do we see what this is? Do we know what this is?
Okay, I think it's a scale, but I wasn't sure. Can you guys tell me in the chat? Is it a scale? Is that what we're looking at?
Okay. You see, maybe there are particles of some kind of a residue there. Yeah. Right. So, all right. And then, not to be outdone. Oh, shit. I think they made this a little business.
Nice.
I mean, what? A whole bunch of keys, a bunch to other vehicles, and some brass knuckles. I'm thinking that maybe those things don't belong to a person who took the car, but maybe took other cars. Interesting, nonetheless. I'm glad he got it back. Looks like he's getting it cleaned up. You guys are saying, yes, that is a scale. All right. I thought so. Yeah. All very fishy stuff. Glad he got it back, though. Let's take a look at also the other day, Jenna Miscavige. Here on YouTube, you can find her at Jenna Miscavige and Aaron at Growing Up in Scientology. We're on the Steebee WEEBIE show. Pearl Snappy was on the other day as well. We shared that a few days back. I feel like it's been a little while since we saw that one, but really fun interviews that Steebee WEEBIE does in his very unique space there. And they got into it. We're going to look at a couple of clips which really touched on the whole, Office of Special Affairs, their gaslighting, what they do, what they don't do. Let's take a look at this and chat about it.
Of people that review content that's going against them, like is there like a board?
That's what we were talking about. It's oh, you mean like when you say reviews content? Yeah, the Office of Special Affairs.
The Office of Special Affairs.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
They handle legal.
Yeah, they don't just review content, but they handle PR, I guess. And so they look at people who are saying bad things about Scientology, and then they would work to dead agent them, like you say. So they put up hate sites about people.
So dead agent is a collection of documents that are used to against the defendants.
Right.
Look at him with his notes. He's got the definitions all there. He did his homework.
To discredit someone.
Discredit the
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
trying to, I want to be prepared for you, man. Yeah, so that's what they do. So it's basically gathering intel.
Yeah,
against.
They are the intelligence branch. They are the FBI and the CIA of Scientology.
Right.
Gosh, it's horrible.
The FBI, the CIA, and the NSA.
Yeah, and so they put up hate sites.
Yeah.
Like websites.
Yeah, because, right, wouldn't a church, a nonprofit group doing good, wouldn't they need something like that? Some type of FBI, CIA part of their organization? That makes a ton of sense. Wake up, Osa. So I should have woke you up first because this part we're kind of going to get into a lot that has to do with you today. So you might want to pay attention through the whole thing. I hate to interrupt your naps. I know you got to catch up. You guys are overworked, obviously underpaid, possibly malnourished, and I know you need those important naps. But stick around for this one because it's going to be a day of kind of really exposing the Scientology stuff with I feel like there's a couple themes today: gaslighting and children. So let's take a look at this next clip from Steebee WEEBIE on there about why hate sites about critics are ineffective. This is something that Scientology has done. I do believe they've made a hate site for everybody who ever appeared on Scientology Aftermath. And really, they just don't do anything. But listen to this.
Saying he's the worst Sea Org member we ever had.
You're in the Sea Org too.
Right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both were. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the people who are there will say anything
Say
in the name of
Yeah.
Scientology.
Isn't that defamation though of character?
It is, but in order to win those types of cases, you actually have to prove damages. And the problem is nobody believes the word Scientology says. And so it's hard to prove that it's done any real damage. And I would argue it actually hasn't. I would argue those websites has not hurt me in the least.
They haven't tried to come up for your YouTube channel, like to strike you on
They
your
file
channel?
privacy complaints. They file some, but I fight them and I win every time.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Privacy complaints, content disputes, if you use any of their stuff. But like YouTube is the battleground that they cannot win on.
They can't win that.
They cannot win.
They don't have it in there.
That's one of the things, it's one of the reasons I try to convince so many former Scientologists to get onto YouTube. I'm like, this is the, what is it? The Star Trek? The Final Frontier. This is the final frontier. Scientology has they have no traction.
Very interesting. And that is true. I've heard that from other people too, who actually have hate sites about them by Scientology. The problem is they really don't do anything. It's in poor taste. It's very much not churchy and all that good stuff. But hey, what do? You're trying, Osa. You're trying, giving it that good old L. Ron Hubbard try. All right. So did you guys see there has been some hubbub about Graceland being sold in an auction? And it turns out, as we're going to look at in this New York Times story, that fraud is afoot. Fraud is afoot, but Riley Keough, the granddaughter of Elvis Presley, the daughter of Lisa Marie Presley, is getting it all sorted. Elvis's granddaughter sues to block sale of Graceland, charging fraud. His granddaughter, the actress Riley Keough, claims a company is fraudulently planning to auction off Elvis's home in Memphis. There it is there. Lawyers for the actress Riley Keough, the granddaughter of Elvis Presley, have sued to stop what they say is a fraudulent scheme to sell Graceland, the family's cherished former home in Memphis. Court papers that Ms. Keough's lawyers filed this month claim that a company planning to auction off Graceland is fraudulently claiming that her mother, Elvis's daughter Lisa Marie Presley, who died in 2023, had borrowed money and put Graceland up as collateral. The papers say that the company, Nausani Investments and Private Lending LLC, appears to be a false entity, and that the documents it presented about the loan were also fake. So fake. My heart just goes out to Riley Keough and that family, because it's like, have you not suffered enough already? And now to have fraud and things like this happening that you then have to go deal with on top of a lot of grief, in that family, not to mention having to survive Scientology. I wonder, I actually don't know what Riley Keough's, what her deal is, if she's still involved in Scientology, if she's active or anything like that. I find it hard to believe that Priscilla Presley is, go Scientology, for a few reasons, but, let's keep an eye on it and see what happens. Mostly I'm interested in, what's happening with Riley and Scientology. I just want nothing more than for that family to be able to just completely break free of it. Just break free of it. Who knows? Maybe they already have. I can't imagine going through all of that and knowing that before the end of her life, Lisa Marie Presley had stepped away from Scientology and she had stuff to say about it and was going to before she tragically passed away. Let's take a look at, L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology, this auditing babies, auditing children. We talk a lot about on these different channels. You've heard it in any time you talk about Scientology, the child abuse issues, the human trafficking, the child trafficking, it all comes up. And we talk also about how recruitment in Scientology of adults has come to a screeching halt. Recruitment has become almost impossible, in large part due to the internet, these protests happening across the country and the world, and the exposure of Scientology through that process. So Scientology is even having a hard time getting in those third generation Scientologists and some of the second generation Scientologists as well. So they're not getting Sea Org members in the way that they did before. They're not making new Scientologists in the way that they did before. There's a lot of discontent out there in the public Scientology world. A lot of people under the radar, as we call them, because they're not ready to break family ties or work or whatever commitments they feel still hold them there that they need to. They're not yet ready to publicly leave Scientology, right? Now, so what does Scientology do if those are dried up and that's mostly where you got your people? We're going to kind of get into that with these next several clips. And the first one we're going to look at, get ready to vomit in your mouth a little bit. I hate to do this to you so early in the show here. This is from Scientology, Child Scientology by L. Ron Hubbard. And it is a whole bunch of, it's published by the Hubbard Association of Scientologists, Inc. This is way back in the day. This doesn't have a date, but it would predate Scientology orgs as we know them today. And we're going to look at probably really what the kind of one of many disturbing parts. Here's what L. Ron Hubbard says here about children. He talks about, in order to utilize Scientology in the attainment of the goal of sane stratum of the populace, do you need special training? No, not beyond the contents of this article and a knowledge of the book Self-Analysis in Scientology, a simple text. What passport do you need to help children? None. What recommendations, papers, figures, historical documents, statistics, and other buffoonery, is it buffoonery, do you need to assist children? None. This is word for word L. Ron Hubbard, people. Is there any lack of groups of children? No. Where are groups of children to be found? In schools, in hospitals, in orphan asylums, in children's societies, in boy and girl organizations, such as the Boy Scouts, in the YMCAs, in Sunday schools, and anywhere that interested people forward the battle to prepare the child of today to become the sane adult of tomorrow. Theirs has been a gallant struggle in the face of almost insuperable odds. It is time these people had some help. Historically, child therapy has been as difficult as it is now simple. Let us be very blunt. We are not interested in the problems of the child's mind. In Scientology, we are no longer concerned with the inopportune and conceited short circuit between epistemology, I don't even know what that is, and the human brain, which has resulted in the science of psychotherapy. See next issue. The Scientologists practicing with groups of children should disabuse anyone of authority of any lingering thought that the Scientologists might be using psychotherapy. So distancing himself from psychotherapy, we know this, but massively targeting kids from day one, right? Can we just we know that, right? We see this. This is not something new, but it is something that L. Ron Hubbard said to do. Go after the kids. Go find them. Go to the YMCAs. Infiltrate the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. Though I think the Boy Scouts now are Scouts of America. They got a new name. Go infiltrate. Go find the kids. And you don't need any training. You don't need anything but that newsletter and the book Self-Analysis to start auditing children. So keep this in mind as we move forward here. Literally, Serge did an amazing video. I think it was yesterday on this same topic. And I want you to listen to this because he is calling out Mace Kingsley. Mace Kingsley, you guys have heard about it before. They're an organization, a Scientology front group that exists to audit children in Scientology, even babies. Hey, Liz Gale, good to see you. This is very upsetting. I was audited and had Scientology processing done to me before birth through my 20s. They target kids because it's like creating an addict. Then they're stuck for life. Amen, girl. You said that amazingly well. You were totally right about that. So let's take a look at a clip of this video from Literally Surge.
Frequently asked about.
You know what? Nope. This is the clip of the video from Poe on the Go. We're going to get to the Literally Surge video. This is Poe on the Go and about Mace Kingsley and what they're doing with kids.
The subject of auditing babies. Very possibly your first question is, why bother? That is what L. Ron Hubbard has to say on the subject. This is what L. Ron Hubbard has to say on the subject. It's not the baby. It's not that the baby is incapable. But the funny part of it is the trouble with a baby is he's having a little trouble with his motor control panel. I find it really interesting. Motor control panel. Wouldn't it just be motor control that children are developing at such young ages? My goodness. He's somebody that's suddenly been put into a big bomber, and he's got to find out it's got 8 engines, and each one has got separate throttles, and there's fuel mixtures over here. There's buttons, wheels.
Going on to why children, babies we're talking about, need auditing in Scientology. And Poe pointed out something really important there. Let's make children and babies sound like some just automatic robot, right? Something that we just need to program, not an actual person and human being, just something that we need to program. So Poe on the Go hit that. And then this clip by Literally Surge, he gets into Mace Kingsley as well. Mace Kingsley and the auditing of children. Listen to this.
Protect their children from being ensnared by Scientology via Mace Kingsley. The facade of care and development masked as a darker reality where children are groomed and conditioned in ways that stifle their natural growth and well-being. The activities promoted on this website, the Mace Kingsley website, should be condemned and prohibited. Safeguarding the innocence and mental health of the youth who, very contrary to their parents' beliefs, are not adults in small bodies.
I've got links down below to all these videos, and I suggest you go check them out because they are full of great information. Hey there, Oh No Nora. Great to see you here. Thank you for jumping in. Now, L. Ron Hubbard says, go after the babies, go after the children. We're not even talking children of Scientologists. He's like, oh, go to those boys and girls clubs. Go to the Scouts of America. Go to the Girl Scouts. Ick, right? And we've been covering a lot and talking about Aaron Cairo, who owns Braille Skateboarding, which has been around for a long time, especially here on YouTube. He also runs Scientology in San Francisco. And he did a video not that long ago talking about things being kind of shaken up at Braille, some changes that are happening, and what's coming in the future. Let's take a look.
Now, second to that, we'll be bringing in a new audience in to teach them how to ride a skateboard. So I definitely want to get out. I definitely want to go to skate parks more. I definitely want to do community events more and various things like that that just involve the community, because I love that. And that's what keeps me going. That's what inspires me. That's where we're at. There are big changes afoot.
Yeah, so I raised the question, and I think many of you have, and others in the skateboarding community are as well, being that, one, L. Ron Hubbard is very clear about targeting children, even the children not of Scientologists. 2, Aaron Cairo runs Scientology in San Francisco. 3, he's now making big changes in his company to go out and do more community things. So my question is this what is going to be the tie or the connection to Scientology? Because we've seen Scientology, they've done press releases with people in the skateboard community. What was that other guy's name? Steve something, I think, who's in the skateboard community, going out and promoting Scientology. Scientology themselves put out the press release about it. So if they're going out and doing things that are just about skateboarding, why Scientology involved? So is this where we're headed? Is this going to be a new type of recruitment for Scientology? Is this why they made Aaron Cairo the head of Scientology in San Francisco? I don't know. I just have a lot of questions about it, and I think it's something that we need to keep an eye on. So if you see something, say something. Email me, Natalie, lifeafteroccult.com. I mean, on anything involving Scientology. Send me links with timestamps to what I'm looking at, clips if you know how to do those, and it's under a minute, but especially things in this world. And if you're interested in skateboarding, you have somebody maybe in your household who's already in that world and maybe follows some other YouTube creators, keep an eye out. Let me know if you see anything else. I've seen a few things pop up already about this, and I'm glad that they're talking about it. And I think it's something that needs to be discussed even more. And Michael Malloy show, you're right. If you see something, film something. Even better. Even better. I love that. Pippi Longstocking, thank you for becoming a member. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you very much for that. All right, so let's look at this other clip by Aaron Cairo here, where he closes with the famous, you know you're a Scientologist if you end every email, letter, and written communication with much love. It could be a knowledge report. This person sucks. They were late to course. They did not hip, hip, hooray the proper amount of times. Much love. Because that's what L. Ron Hubbard did. And when I saw this, I was like, ew, did he just say that? Check it out.
Fun content, definitely getting out to the skate parks. And I will post on the social media accounts, hey, this weekend we're going to Fremont, or this weekend we're going to this skate park or that skate park. And you guys.
So by the way, if you follow them on social media, they're going to let people know ahead of time what skate park they're going to teach children how to ride skateboards. I hope that that's all it is, but people might want to keep an eye in case it's not. And there's some Way to Happiness booklets or other Scientology propaganda there. I don't know, something to watch. Okay, let's watch the rest.
Can come out and skate with us. It will be awesome to get back out there, get out into the sun. Hopefully it's not raining, and we'll see you there. Much love from me to you. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
Much love. Much love. That's another thing ruined by Scientology. Well, I don't know that anybody signs a letter much love, but I don't know. Just I've never heard somebody say it out loud. He's probably reading something that was written, and that's how he signed it. So he just read it. But yeah, blow drill. Yep. Front group is a front group. Front groups be fronting. That's what they're doing. All right, let's take a look at you guys' newer channel. We highlighted him a few days ago, L. Ron Hubbard. He's been doing a few things with, I think it's Scientology Up North. And he did a really interesting video. I love these videos by ex-Scientologists because a lot of them, sometimes you're seeing people come to realizations in real time. Happens to me all the time. And he's just got such an interesting viewpoint on this.
And it got me, you know, finally I could understand what are these levels. Basically nothing. It's just BS. Like, imagine a pink elephant. Okay, good. Now you imagine the pink elephant. Nice. Now give me thousands of dollars to find out that basically you were the one who imagined the pink elephant, and you don't need to do it anymore. Well, guys. And then
he's talking about the clear cognition or realization in Scientology that after tens of thousands, if not over $100,000, you achieve the state of clear in Scientology, where you need to voice. This is the only way they're going to sign off on it and be like, you are now clear, that you realize that you've been creating your own reactive mind and you're not going to do it anymore. First off, it was L. Ron Hubbard that told us we had a reactive mind. You have a reactive mind. It records these mental image pictures. You need Dianetics and Scientology auditing to get rid of those mental image pictures so they no longer affect you. And lo and behold, then you spend all that money to find out that, oh, wait a minute. Turns out, you guys, oh, this is so funny. Turns out you've been created your own reactive mind and you just got to stop doing it. Stop imagining the pink elephant that we have been indoctrinating you to believe and see this whole time. Oh my God. I've known this, but it's hearing the way that he put it, using that example, I just thought was genius. Go check out his whole video. I was like, that makes so much, it's just such a great metaphor. I totally get it. Now, Let's talk a little bit about gaslighting, which is the other thing today. I did an interview with Aaron at Growing Up in Scientology yesterday, and we really got into it. And it reminded me of so many things. And one of the things that he brought up that it reminded me of was the lengths that Scientology will go to using their confidential handlings to convince you as a Scientologist, say you see something that went wrong. For example, and the example in this clip, he shares an incident with Leah Remini. You guys remember Leah Remini leaving Scientology really blew up when she dared to ask where's Shelly Miscavige at Tom Cruise's wedding. And we all know how that went down. She didn't have the rank to be asking those questions. All hell broke loose, and here we are today. Here's the thing though, Scientology did a handling with her. One of their handlings, these secret things that they do is called the truth rundown. And it's basically to get you to see by the end of it, you don't finish it unless you realize that what you saw was not what actually happened. What you saw, what you perceived is not what happened. And when you can admit, oh, I guess I didn't see that person being punched by David Miscavige after all. You're right. I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. It's the literal definition of gaslighting. The person has the intention to control and to basically make you question your own reality of what you perceive and what you're told that you see, makes you not want to trust yourself. And we're going to look at a little clip from that. I enjoyed doing the video. It was a little tough sometimes to just like remember certain things, but if you get a chance, I really recommend you go look at that one too, because I think we also share some tools where you can kind of combat the gaslighting. And when you've been gaslit by the best, which we have, if you're an ex-Scientologist, especially if you are out there talking about Scientology, you've probably already been gaslit by Scientology. You cannot be a Scientologist and stay in Scientology without the gaslighting, because they need to keep convincing you that, no, you're not seeing that. No, we're not stealing money from people. No, that's not elder abuse. He likes to power wash at 85 with a heart condition. No, you're not seeing that. That is totally what it is. And so let's take a little look at this. These are the things that aren't openly talked about in Scientology because you're not allowed to. You're not going to catch a Scientologist talking about it. And so many of these techniques are used more on Sea Org members and the staff members because they need to be more heavily controlled.
The truth rundown is what Leah Remini had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for when she wrote up the reports on Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. That is why she had to do the truth rundown until she got to the point, and she wrote up the reports on Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, and David Miscavige. She did the truth rundown at the cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars until she got to the point where she said, those reports that I wrote were false. I did not really hear those things. I did not really see those things. I did not really observe those things. I mean, it's freaking North Korea, USSR type brainwashing.
It truly is. And that is the thing, I think, when I talk about revisiting certain things and just really remembering how bad it was, how bad it is. This is still happening in Scientology. And as a Scientologist, you're not recognizing it. You're just thinking like, okay, they're helping me see the light. Obviously, I misunderstood, or I have crimes of my own that's altering my perception of things. I'm looking at through a lens that I shouldn't be. Self-doubt. Don't trust your intuition or what you're seeing or with your own eyes or hearing with your own ears. That's exactly what happens. That's what so much of these handlings in Scientology, when we talk about reprogramming, these are the type of things that are done to Scientologists to keep them in line. Per Scientology Audit, good to see you there. What is the purpose of his gaslighting, though? Does he not get that people aren't going to want to hang around after hearing it? No. If you're doing gaslighting correctly, you've convinced the person that what you're telling them the reality is of something, that it's that way, and they are no longer believing their own perceptions. They're doubting their own reality, and they can be controlled. It's a control mechanism. So if the gaslighting works, you have that person under control. Gaslighting's not going to work if you just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can say what they want. You don't need to take it on. You don't need to respond to it. You can if you want to, but you really don't need to, because what does it actually change? In Scientology, it is relentless. Scientology is pay to play. If you want to do the bridge to total freedom, not only do you have to pay for it, but you have to become mentally conditioned to withstand the gaslighting, which is brainwashing, so you can be controlled. And what happens is members pop out of that once in a while, and you start going, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. So you write knowledge reports thinking you're going to create change within the organization. That doesn't happen. You get in trouble. You get labeled as being counter-intention to management, meaning David Miscavige, against L. Ron Hubbard, no longer being, you're not in alignment with the values of Scientology. Let us help you. Let us help you get back there so that you can do the bridge to total freedom. You can't just, it's more than just, paying. It's total pay to play, but it is much, much more. So wanted to touch on that because that's kind of a theme. I think these are things that, honestly, let's be honest, it can help all of us, right? Because even if you've never been in Scientology, you've probably experienced a good gaslighting, or maybe you've gaslit other people. And the more we know, that's kind of it. The more we know, the more we cannot fall for that. Now, the Scientolo geek, oh, I love this. This person has been out in New Haven and has been protesting Scientology, and then created this video sharing some of the contradictions within Scientology itself. This is something that's so valuable, not just for people who've never been in to help try and understand the craziness that is Scientology, but for people under the radar, current Scientologists, to kind of be reminded, hey, remember when this didn't sit right with you? Guess what? We see it too. So take a look at this.
That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others.
This is from the Creed of the Church of Scientology.
That's a total quote from the Creed of the Church of Scientology, where L. Ron Hubbard is saying, oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can write different. If you don't agree with this, you have a right to say something about it. Just does not exist in Scientology today. Scientologists are not, in fact, allowed to do that. Hold on a second. I got to pull this up. Hold on. Let's see. Add to stage. Ken's channel. Thank you so much for that. You got my email. You're on it. Awesome. Love you. Thank you for doing that. And I think we can make the timing work out today. Awesome. Okay. Back to this.
That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others.
This is from the Creed of the Church of Scientology. Hey everybody, I'm Holly, aka the Scientology Geek, and today I want to take you back to a protest that I participated in at the New Haven Church of Scientology in Connecticut, also known as the New Haven Org. During that protest, I brought up different problems with the church using various quotes from policy letters, technical bulletins, and lectures. Today, I want to provide a full list of points that I have so far, some quote related and some not. I've added new points since the protest, and hopefully by sharing this video, other protesters and auditors may use these points in their own demonstrations.
There are some excellent ones. We're just going to take a look at a couple, but link down below, go check it out, because there's some great quotes in there that just might
How can Scientology promote free thinking if
it helps in when Scientologists see contradictions. Yes, the blinders will come up at times, but it plants these seeds, and it's this chip in the armor each time. And I know this because I remember being a Scientologist and looking at some of these contradictions and going, wait a minute. And then, brainwashing kicks in, but eventually it didn't. They became too much. There were too many of them. And when I found out that other people were seeing them, then that just busted up, opened the whole door. Okay, here. Hold on. I need to get this thing back up there. So these sharing each of these points, it's going to plant some great seeds. I think this is really fantastic. And some of them might make sense. You know, if you don't know a lot about Scientology, some of them might not. But over and over and over again, I went through this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so true. This is such a contradiction. So link down below, go check it out, especially if you're out there protesting. If you're out there protesting Scientology, a lot of these will be good for chalk too. When we talk about chalking some L. Ron Hubbard quotes, because, you know, they're still going to wash them off. But maybe they'll read them. Other people will see them and read them. People who watch the live streams and see the video of them chalked on the sidewalk will read them and see them and go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. So let's look over at, there is a new feature on sptv.space. If you go to sptv.space, you can find out who is going live in the SPTV community. You can also see different protesters in different countries, states, and so on. And there is now a new feature because one of the most effective things that protesting has done has dried up recruitment in Scientology. So now if you see recruitment happening somewhere, body routers in Scientology trying to bring people in or handing out Scientology material, you can report that here through I Spy Body Routing Edition on sptv.space. So you go, I put a link down below straight to this. So if you spot some body routing, let us know. We'll get the info out. So they'll actually share it. So first they're going to want to verify you're not OSA. So I guess you can check one or all boxes. If you agree, David Miscavige is a squirrel. COB, that's chairman of the board, which is David Miscavige, beats his staff. Smoking causes cancer. Little Captain Davy of the Spake-Faced Navy wears shoe lifts. So you go through. Oh, I guess you do have to check them all. Do you have to check them all? You have to check them all. So finish the well-known phrase, Scientology is a joke. You will go broke, because that rhymes. So then you get into what type of body routing was it. That's going to collect more information from you and make that information known to people who are out there protesting, so then they can get out there and do something about it. Yes, get out there. Vestige of Bees. I love the body routing reporting thing. Absolutely. It's fantastic. Thank you again, Fluffer Squirrel UK and Z News, for making all of this happen, and everybody who contributes and shares information. Give them lots of love. And we are actually going to talk to Fluffer Squirrel UK. Maybe, I'm thinking maybe next week we're going to work it out, and we're going to find out more about kind of some behind the scenes stuff with this, other ways you can use the website, and just kind of get to know her as well, because I've been wanting to do that. So let's do it together. But do check that out. It is Tracy in Tulsa. I agree that sptv.space is amazing. I use it on a daily basis. Okay. There is Nancy. I'm going to move this. Sins of Scientology did this amazing video, but I'm going to share it at the end, because I'm going to be honest. I don't think I can go through the rest of what we got to get through if we play that now. So I'm changing. We're making a change, Nancy. We're making a change, Nancy. Let's go instead and go visit Tori Magoo 44, who was sitting down with JDSA, chatting. We got a couple clips to look at. She shares some really interesting info, as she usually does. Check it out.
See, that's the guy that started my waking up.
They're talking about protesting and styles of protesting, and Tori's about to share something that I've shared here, but it's great hearing her share that story of what helped to wake her up when she was in Scientology, volunteering for the Office of Special Affairs, trying to handle critics of Scientology.
Asked me, and I always tell people this story because I was out handling the critics. And they were all yelling, L. Ron Hubbard's a liar, Scientology's a cult, this and that, And I never heard any of that. It was like plexiglass. I never heard any of it. And then finally, this one guy came in, and he goes, "Can I just ask you a question?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "If you're free, why can't you read certain books?" And he asked it like really nicely. It wasn't like, why can't you read certain books?
Yeah, like a genuine question.
Yeah, it was a
with
genuine
sincerity,
question.
and you could hear it in his voice.
And I could hear it. Because voices are like music.
Right.
So if you have the right music, it goes to your heart.
I like that,
Right.
Terry.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Chat, write it down. We'll put it on the quote list.
Put it on the quote list. Voices.
If you have the right music, it goes to your heart. That's true. We all communicate with a vibe, and some vibes communicate better for some people. Others communicate better for other people. That's why it takes all kinds in the world of protesting and getting messages through to people. And that is what got through to Tori. And I think that's such a great story. I love seeing her. This is so that clip was from Tori Magoo 44 from her stream. We're going to take a look of that same sit down where they're talking more, but from Jay's stream, because you kind of get a different view of what's actually happening there and how they're having this chat right outside Big Blue, right off of L. Ron Hubbard Way, while still protesting Scientology. And I think it's fabulous.
Go out and handle the critics. That was for me to get rid of the critics, right? And I did a lot of times, not in a mean way. My thing was, like my two favorite ones. Did I tell you my ones? But your guys haven't heard it, so I'll tell everyone.
Yeah, let's go for it.
The two favorite ones that, this is like.
I just love that. Just holding up the signs there. I just love it so much. I agree, Ancy. Tori is a genuine legend. Totally. Swedish Andrea. Tori is a treasure. I agree. And yeah, Michael Malloy show. JDSA is a great interviewer. I would absolutely agree with that. Truly. He just takes it all in. He's just a sponge, and then he just has this wisdom to share as well. I love it. That's why I love watching his streams, because you get these like little J gems. All right, let's take a look at this is also from Jay's stream, where passerbyers were stopping to join the protest out there, which this happens a lot all over the place. And I love seeing it when it does. Check this out.
The cat avatar picture.
You can see they're in the back there. These people were just walking by, and now they're taking pictures and videos with this sign. It's the best.
I think these are just independents who are really or enjoying the protest that's here. Oh my God. Oh my good God.
It's so great. Oh, that just made me laugh. It really did. I love seeing that. Tinkercat, you're so right. Tori is the auntie we wish we all had. 100%. 100%. Oh, Amber, that's cool. Tori knows your mom. Or you're sure she does. I bet she does too. It's a small world in Scientology. Jess, you make a good point. Part of Jay's success is he's non-threatening. Yeah, he very, very caring vibe. Laura FM was out there at Big Blue protesting, going along, minding her business. And what happens? She sees somebody from her Scientology past who doesn't completely ignore her. So that was a little different in the world of protesting. Check this out.
Oh, look, it's Jason. Jason, are you still a Scientologist? Oh my God, dude, you got to get out. You got to get out, man. Dude, you got to get out. That's Jason. Oh my God. Wow. No, I know. No, dude, we're all SPs out here. It's a beautiful day to not be in a cult. It's a beautiful day to get out, Jason. Dude, you got to learn what's going on. You guys got to open up and get out. Look at SPTV on YouTube, Jason. Look at SPTV on YouTube.
Love that. It is impactful when you see somebody that you used to know. And I don't know if he doesn't know her, that she's not in good standing with Scientology, or just doesn't care. Either way, at least he said, oh, hello, and all that good stuff. It's great seeing Laura out there, because so many of them know her, public and Sea Org members alike. So Laura has a very powerful voice, and she's also showing them that, hey, I left. I'm pursuing my desires, my dreams. I'm making my own calls. I'm doing what I want to be doing. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Did you guys know? Now, Nasty Nathaniel is a First Amendment auditor who had covered Scientology, done some First Amendment auditing around Scientology in years past. And even recently, we've seen him pop up here and there. Well, he just popped up in the UK. He did. And we're going to look at a couple things because he went over to Scientology there in London. Let's take a look.
Yeah. I saw him at the Life Improvement Center on Tottenham Road the other day. You got to go to the Ideal org. Oh, that looks like we've already gotten their attention. All right. And he's yeah. And he's already on me. Hi.
Hi, paparazzi.
Where are you on the bridge?
Well, she's got a nice little Dianetics bag.
Oh yeah, well she was a little bit more friendly. I guess the LRH tech must be working for her. Oh, look at that. They got the Chapel FS.
It just sickens me that Scientology has their chapels, which all they do is hold events in there and their pretend Sunday service. Chapel, FSM Lounge. FSM is field staff member. Those are public Scientologists who get a commission when they bring someone into Scientology and they pay and start services. Field activities, that is doing activities out in the Scientology world of the public, getting out there and recruiting and getting Scientologists to do the same. I bet that girl was super new to Scientology, if not, fully in. Okay, look at this. They call the police, right? Because it's Scientology. They got to call the police. But this was the police in the UK. And Nasty Nathaniel's out there. But look at this. I mean, this is it, it froze, it not froze. I paused it right here, but still the police were fabulous, but doesn't he look like so excited to go out and talk to him? Hey, check this out.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm good.
Yeah, we're going to chat with them first to see what was going on. Yeah, right. So you're just auditors effectively, are you? Just filming at the location?
Auditors?
I imagine, or not?
You know about auditors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm assuming, but I would imagine, are you an auditor?
Well, since you guys are being professional, I'm going to go ahead and, that's what I'm doing.
And again, like we understand the situation. There's no issues from us. All I will ask is just don't block the doors or anything which you're not.
But I never have, you know. I don't know if they lied to you guys or whatnot, I'm not blocking them.
In fairness, he said, at one point you went up on the step. He's not really bothered about that.
Well, that's a lie.
But just okay. Yeah. But if you just stay off the step and on the pavement here, there's no issues. Right?
Okay. So do you know about auditors? What channels do you watch? Other channels?
Not really. I've seen a few clips.
You've just seen a few clips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care, mate.
Hey, thank you guys for being professional. I appreciate it.
Oh, he's totally watching. I think he's watching. The guy next to him too. The other officer was like, oh, yeah, no, we know. Because that is the thing in the United States, right? The First Amendment auditors. I'm not sure if they have something similar that they do in the UK like that in that way, but I thought it was really cool that Nasty Nathaniel was there, went by and got some great content and footage and gave us a look at what's happening over there. Now, let's see, where we at? I'm going to get caught up here. Hey, Poe on the go. We shared a little clip of some stuff from you earlier, talking a lot about the whole auditing babies, children, all that disgusting stuff. Now, check this out. Let's see. Let's grab a couple comments here. Anne says, truth rundown. So Leah didn't see that Shelly wasn't at the wedding. So Shelly was really there. If that isn't gaslighting, then I don't know what is. Exactly. It's a rewriting of what you saw, right? And there's a difference between disagreeing, right? I might think the wall's purple. You might think that the wall is white. But the thing is, I'm not trying to convince you that what you see is not there. I'm like, okay, you see it as a different color. That's fine. I got things to do. I'm kind of busy. There's a difference. But when you take it that step further to try and actually convince the person and use different techniques to get them to doubt their own reality, by all means. It's super insidious. Aaron and I really got into it with the video yesterday, and it is super insidious. Donna, replay crew here, and I'm at the Grace. What? Oh, you're at the Graceland story. Okay. Thought you were going to mention Dodge Linsman as he's in Memphis covering the story and he thinks Scientology is behind the fake company. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I will have to look it up. Want to make sure I don't forget. So if anybody's seen that and knows where the clip is, send it to me, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. I did not catch that. I did not. Swedish Andrea. Natalie is the sister we all wish we had. Thank you so much for saying sister and not mom. Though for some of you, it would be fitting. Thank you so much. Amy, you are so right. The protest is a tourist attraction. Doesn't it have that vibe? It really does. It really does. We've seen that in Hollywood too. People joining in, asking what it's for, learning about it, and participating. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about something. I don't actually have a clip on here because in part, I'm still consuming a lot of the content myself, but I know you guys are buzzing about it because I've gotten multiple emails about this. And I wanted to kick off this conversation this way and then let you guys lead it. What are your questions? Let's talk about it for just a little bit. And this is the situation with, I got a lot of links sent to me. I saw Nora's video. I know there were other ones about Stephanie Hutchinson leaving the board of the Aftermath Foundation. So here's where I'm at on this. One, I'm still watching the videos and seeing what's out there. I think, this is just my opinion, I think that this woman needs help. I think continuing to fuel the flames or anything like that is not good for her. Speaking of gaslighting, I think she's being gaslit and not by the people that she thinks are doing it. A lot of times people, let me put it this way. I'm not saying that, oh, this is OSA, this is Scientology behind it. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It's just people doing their own thing, but they're often kind of egged on by people who have a different interest that way. And that's where it gets nasty. Disagreement is fine. You can disagree. You can even not like people. That is totally okay. We get to do that. But when it gets to the point of a level of an unhealthy obsession, especially when it's really focused on one individual, that becomes unhealthy. And I wouldn't encourage that for anybody. So that's kind of where I'm at on it right now. But if you guys feel that you need and want to talk about this, then let's talk about it. We've got a little bit of time here. You can bring it up in the comments. If you are catching this on the replay, go ahead and comment on there and I will try to catch those comments and answer as many questions as I can. I'm curious about what your thoughts on it. Where are you at on it? And again, it's too easy to just go down this path of getting into some kind of a flame war because you can go back and forth and where is it going to stop? But again, this is my opinion. My opinion is this is not good for this person. And I'm genuinely do have concerns about it. So, but we also talk about on here, like we talk about what has the internet buzzing. And I did get a ton of emails about this. What I don't want to go do is go down the path of just getting into, this person says this and this person says that. And where's the what does it actually have to do with things? From my perspective, what this has to do with Scientology is an example of what can happen when you're not aware of these gaslighting techniques that we've been talking about and what's behind it. Where you can be put in a position, especially if, for anybody, I'm not calling out a specific individual. I'm saying for anyone, especially if you have any underlying mental health issues or things that you might be struggling with in that way, it becomes even more harmful and insidious, the way that you can be manipulated to just get really jacked up about a lot of things and then overly focused on an individual. And for Stephanie, that individual is Aaron and people who are close to him, but it's mainly at him. You can not like Aaron. I don't care. People get to like who they like. People get to follow the creators who they want to follow or don't follow them. That's totally okay. So let's see. I'm going to see. Okay, so Amy says, I think she should be ignored. That's kind of my thought because I don't think this is good for her. I cannot control what anybody else is doing or what she is doing herself. But we've seen this a couple times that you'll have someone who you can tell they're struggling and adding fuel to that fire does not help no matter what they do and say, because there's a difference between, hey, This angered me. I'm going to share about it and talk about it. And then this over obsession about it and it becoming like your main focus. It's not, it's just not, it's just not good. You know, she resigned from the Aftermath Foundation board, right? That's about where it should have stopped. And if she wants to make it her full-time job now, no longer being on the board, to continue to go after Aaron or anybody, she can do that. It's just, I'm honestly, I just think it's going to cause more pain for her than any relief that she think it might have come with. And she's gotta, if you put that kind of stuff out there, people are going to have opinions about it, because you do have a right to say whatever you want to say. It doesn't mean it's not going to be without consequence, and people are not going to react to it. And it's going to create more of that conversation, and they get to do that too. Nora made some amazing points on her video. I saw the video. I liked the video. You know, but it's, I'm just saying from where I stand and what we talk about here and covering it, you guys keep sending links and see, I just want to kind of just, you know, bring that up, just plant that seed a little bit of, it gets to a point where you can tell somebody is not well. And that's, you know, they still have their own responsibility in it. People are going to have reactions to it. And we saw that, and we're seeing that with videos, and that's totally valid, because when you put something out like there, the way she's done and continues to do, you're going to get a reaction to that. My concern is I don't think she's equipped to handle that. I think it's becoming more of, Nora said it, you know, baby reindeer vibes, misery vibes, that type of thing. And Aaron's a big boy. He can handle himself. Nobody needs to defend Aaron. Aaron doesn't even need to defend himself. You can like people and not like people, and follow some people and not follow others, and agree with them and not agree with them. That's fine. You get to do that. You get to disagree. It's just when it gets so hateful, you know, and that is what I saw when, you know, when I read Stephanie's announcement. It was just so hateful. And the part that hurt my heart wasn't even what she was saying about Aaron and other people. It was what is going on with her, that there's that level of animosity and hate towards a very specific individual. I spent 35 years in Scientology. 3 generations of my family have been abused by Scientology. I don't have the level of animosity towards anybody there that she has for very specific people. And I think that's the difference between, can we have a discussion about what I think is right, what you think is wrong, versus just being so incredibly hateful, and then to do other things in the internet space to hide behind other things and just put out content that is just hateful. And disagreeing is not hateful. I'm not saying that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Blow drill. I hope that she finds peace and realizes that projection is only a sign that there is an internal issue that needs to be addressed. Dylan, always bringing that truth. and that's kind of how I feel about it. You know, that's happened recently with somebody else who was a part of this community. And that's my feeling on it. It is just, yep, dastardly saboteur. I think it's best to ignore her. I would agree with that. Jess, Nora always does a good job on her content. She brings a good and different point of view. 100%. And she totally reacted to that in a way that, like I said, she made some really good points, which really made me think even more and go, wow, that whole thinking about it being like baby reindeer and misery. And that's funny, but it's true. We're watching this. Is there going to become a time down the road where, you know, there's going to be a Netflix movie about this, and we all saw it start to unfold and happen? That's a legitimate thing. She really, watching Nora's video really opened my eyes about it even more, that this is more than just, I don't like this person. It is obsession on a level that, to be honest, I've not seen before that way. And I don't completely understand it. Galen, baby reindeer 2.0. Sue also saying, don't give her the time of day. Absolutely. Lisa says hate can be destructive to people spewing it. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. What is that saying about hate, anger? You know, hate, anger. It's that poison that you take yourself. If you hate somebody else, you're taking the poison and thinking it's going to affect them. It's not. It's not. And it's so easy to get stuck into that. And it's so painful. And that's what I see. When I read that, I saw pain, deep, deep pain. And I don't even think it really has anything to do with Aaron. Whatever he triggered, right? It's at such a level that it can't be just that. It can't be. Anna says, the things she wrote about you, Natalie, while you were dealing with Tony's diagnosis were disturbing and absolutely disgusting. You are so gracious. Hurt people try to hurt people sometimes. And I believe she's being gaslit to do a lot of this as well. Whether it's by people outside of Scientology or operatives from Scientology, I don't know. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't. What matters is this is an individual who is obviously suffering. And there are people who are taking advantage of that, who she thinks are being her friends and are actually helping her. Anyone who's egging on this type of behavior. I mean, she's completely, jumped the shark on this. Is that something people still say? That was from way back in the day, from Happy Days. I don't even know if that's a thing. You guys tell me. You got to tell me. Just a Northern Girl says, I still say Aaron should write a book titled Aaronetics, How to Be a Cult Leader with a Costco Card. I do laugh about that too. What is it called? Some are calling it Aarontology. SPTV Inc. Pity is more infuriating than anger to some people. Act accordingly. Pity is more infuriating than anger to some people. Act accordingly. Tell me more about that. I don't think I'm fully getting it, but I think I'm kind of getting it though. Let's see. Bullbank says, but number one, even knew her before being put on Aftermath Foundation board, like she was brought there just for all this BS. I don't know. I just know it's not right to get somebody that worked up, where you now resign from a board where are there issues? Yes, but they've still helped people, right? And you give that up to be able to go full time without criticism or it being reflecting badly on the Aftermath Foundation board to focus even more on this individual. That's what I'm saying. It is just not right. It is not right. I'm watching the time, Nancy. I'm good. We're good. All right. You guys have some great comments here. Yep, Jess, sometimes I have to check myself and I stop and really listen. I agree. Marilyn, good to see you. I think Stephanie receives approval from Mike Rinder by talking up his mantle against Aaron. It's very sad. Yeah, I think so too. And that's part of it. We don't do things in life unless we get something out of it. And my hope is that she just finds peace and finds something to get that fulfillment. This is a woman who wasn't she once a nun? She obviously has a desire to help, to do something. And I think that's being misguided in the way that I've seen many people be recruited by Scientology, and those dire desires to help and do good get used in a different way. That's definitely what I see. Okay, so jump the shark. Some people still know what that is. Okay. SPTV Inc. Stephanie can deal with anger towards her. She feeds off of it. Not sure she can handle pity. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. And I don't even know that pity would be a word the way that I would describe, at least, try to identify what my feelings are. I think it's concern, but it's also not my monkey, not my circus. Right. I talk, I've been asked about it. I've gotten a lot of emails about it, which is kind of why we're chatting about it here. And I want to go finish watching the videos about it as well. And there's going to be reactions to it and people are going to talk about it. I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm not saying that at all. I just want to voice that I think there's a legitimate concern here for somebody's well-being. And she made her bed and she's going to get a lot of hits about it. And it's probably going to continue. I don't know for how long, but, I'm just hoping somebody who is in her camp can maybe just, use some words of wisdom to kind of help her find some peace about it all. Abraham says, don't forget that the same board members who voted Erin out had no issue with her, nor did they want her to leave. That is true. That is true based off what she said. Yeah. It's a hot mess. I'm not saying it's not a hot mess. And like I said, I think if people, and I'm not saying don't talk about it, don't do videos about it, do the videos, talk about it. I'm just saying, I think there's a way of doing it. I think Nora did a good job at making some really good points, like really Nora's got this ability to just kind of like call things out, just like, here's what it is, here's what I see. And it's very to the point. And I think that's why I connect with a lot of her content. It's very like, it just cuts through everything. And here's the thing. And you can agree with it or you can not agree with it. And it was eye-opening for me, like, whoa, we are talking about a situation, like the reference to it being like Misery or, you know, Baby Reindeer, which I still need to watch because I needed to understand that reference. But yeah. So there you go about that. I agreed, Exile New Yorker, the woman needs therapy. We all do. We all do. We all absolutely do. And I think too, like I said, this is why I'm saying, if you guys want to talk about it, send me links. We will talk about certain things because we talk about what, you know, this community wants to talk about and cover. But I'm just saying what my hope is, which is that, you know, she finds some more peace, because that can't feel good. I think about what that must feel like, with those feelings of having that much hate and disdain, and to go through put all of that work. It takes a lot of work and energy to hate somebody. It does. And all it does is drain your own energy, which is something you could be putting into something else. And if that's where you want to put your focus and your time, you can. And she is. But we will see. I guess we'll just see what happens. We shall see what happens. Yeah, George. Stephanie needs help. I definitely pity her. We're talking about Aaron's reputation. She can't leave him alone. Yeah, it's just a little odd to me. I don't understand. Disagree. Call them out on stuff if you want to, right? We put ourselves out here on YouTube. People are going to have an opinion, all kinds of opinions. Not everybody's going to agree. That's just how it is. That's part of it. Aaron knows that. I know that. Most of us know that. Not everybody's going to agree. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's totally okay. In fact, Aaron is about to start a video, so I think it'd be a great time for everybody to hop on over there and check it out at Growing Up in Scientology. I think he's about to go live. We'll continue this discussion. Feel free to email me, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. Right? We'll keep talking about it. I appreciate you guys so much. Please hit that like button and subscribe on your way out, and send me those links. Send me those clips of what you're seeing in regard to Scientology and the news out there, and let's talk about it. And in the meantime, I hope you guys all get out there and have an amazing cult-free day.